On the previous session, we covered the quote line editor. So now we need to move on to the configuration screen. That's the second screen in CPQ that is also heavily used by sales reps. And you would navigate to that screen by clicking on Add Products from the quote line editor screen. This is a screen where you will have all of your list of products displayed. On this particular screen, as you can see, this is another field set. These fields are coming from the actual product record. So you have your product code, your product name, product family, product description, and list price. So you can always change these fields, just kind of like what we did by changing them on the field set. But this is the information that is displayed on the screen. So on our setup, we only have a few products available, but typically customers, they have a ton of products that the users have to sort through and find their product. So this search bar will definitely come in handy. So for example, if they know they needed to sell rice balls, they can just do a search here and they'll get all of the rice balls that are available. So if they just clicked on the standard rice ball product, this is the only one that will be displayed. And as you can see here on the right side of your screen, you see a filter. So it's automatically filtering based off of what I have, searched for in the search bar. So if you click on this particular filter, you can clear out what you've typed, and then you can click on apply to see all of the search results here. There may be a situation where the requirement is, let's say you've discovered that the sales reps, most of the time, yes, you may have a huge list of products, but there may be a certain amount of products that are sold the most often. So, for example, let's say the bento box the products are sold like 90% of the time, and the rest of the products are sold the rest of the 10%. So, to make things easier for the sales rep, um, you can apply a filter to automatically default bundles on the screen when they go to add products. And I'll show you how to do that. And that is done with a search filter. This is another feature in CPQ that can be utilized. So going into the app launcher. So searching for search filter in the app launcher, you'll just click on search filter. Then you'll click on new to add a new search filter. So when you think about like what you want to filter by, so if going back to this product, on the actual product record for this product, right, you want to search for the product family where the bundle, the product family equals bundle, because these are sold the most, right? So if I just go into the actual product record so that you can see where this data is coming from. Okay, so I'm on an actual product, and as you can see here, the product family is labeled as a bundle. Um, if you recall, the product family is a pick list value with different values that you can add or remove depending on the setup of your products. Okay, so if I'm going to set up a search filter, the filter name is the name that will be displayed for this filter to the users. So if they are familiar with the term product family, you can label it product family. Display orders number one. The object, again, that is the product object that we're trying to filter from. And the field that we're going to use to help filter is product family, where the operator, it equals the value bundle. So you want to make sure that the value is right and the spelling is correct, so that the search filters will filter properly. So that's all you need. So just go ahead and click save. Going back to the quote, let's cancel out. And let me remove some of these products. So I'm going to go back into the quote, click on add products, and now the search filter appears. Keep in mind, if you don't exit out of the quote, and then come back in, the filters won't show up. It needs some time to refresh. So you would always just need to cancel. If you were already in a quote that you've added the search filters, you would have to cancel out, click cancel, come back here to the quote screen, and then click on edit lines, and then your search filter will be displayed. So here's an example of where they've come to this screen and they only see the bundle. So if you've had a whole list of bundles, that's all they would see. Okay. And then they can select them and start configuring the details of the bundle. Now, we're not necessarily restricting them from seeing all of the products. So if they wanted to remove this filter, you can give them that opportunity to apply, to click on none and click on apply, and now they see all of them now. Okay. But if they only wanted to see the starches, they can see the starches. It makes it easy for them to filter out. Okay. Now, if there was a situation where you didn't want them to be able to filter at all. So a scenario would be you have sales reps that are only able to sell certain products because they are in a certain region, right? So if they're selling on the East Coast, you may have a completely different product and setup for compared to the West Coast. So, for example, you may only sell your standard bundles to the East Coast, but your premium bundles may be sold to the West Coast. So, when you have a sales rep selling a product, you don't want to see these because they may not be aware of which products can be sold. So typically you have this coming from the opportunity. So if you're on the opportunity and you've added an account, it should be able to detect, okay, this account resides in the West Coast. So you would set up some automation to populate that. And then you can also populate the same on the quote object. So you would have a region field on the quote object. And then what you would do is you would also add a region to the product as well. So let's say, for example, we could just go with the standard product. So if you click edit, so typically you would data load all of this information in. If you know all of your products are in a certain region, you would just data load it to have the corresponding region. So if this product is sold, let's say only on the East Coast, you'll click save. And let's go to the premium bundle. So the premium bundle would only be sold on the West Coast, and maybe a higher price item that can only be sold on the West Coast. Okay. So what you want to do is create a new search filter for the region. So you'll give it a name as region, the display order to, the object that you want it to compare it to on the product, and the field is the region. Okay. So the operator that you want to use, depending on if it's a pick list value, you can use equal, but if you have multi-select, you want to use contains. So if it contains the value from the quote for the region. So as you can see here, this is the advanced section. Under the filter source field, you would have to add region as the field to look up. So I'll just show you how to do that. Let me create another tab and go to setup. So the object, if you go back, the object is the search filter object. So you would just go to Object Manager. And then the field, you go to Fields and Relationships. And then if you forget the field name, so you go back here, okay, you know you're on the search filter, and then you need to go to the filter source field and add that pick list value. So this one. All right, and click on New. So since this is a custom field, you always want to add the API name of that particular field. Okay. So again, we're on the product and we want to use region as our field. So you would just type in region, and it has to be the __ C. It tells it what field to actually look at, and they need the API name and the pick list value to determine that. So click on save. Okay. So let's exit out of this, refresh so that we can see the pick list values show up that we just added. So if I click on new again, label it region, display order 2, the product object, the region field contains the same value as the quote. And as you can see, that region is not there. You will see this a lot in CPQ. Ask yourself, why is this not there? This is a dependent pick list. Okay. So now we need to go back to this particular field, and where it says controlling field, click on change so that we can display it. So as you can see, it's not highlighted for region. So we'll double click on it, click save. Okay. And unfortunately, we do have to refresh one more time so that we can see it. Okay, so I've clicked on the quote, and now we see our region pick list value. So what this is doing is saying if the region on the product equals the region on the quote, then at that point, that's when you want to, trigger these search filters. Okay. And it will show the product that corresponds with the quote, the region on the quote. So let's just click save. So let's go to this quote that we were on. I need you to add a region field. Okay. And it needs to have the same pick list values. Let me just edit. It needs to have the same pick list values that are on the product region. So please go ahead and create that. As you can see, these are the same values. Okay. So if I select West Coast, right, Now, keep in mind, we can have automation automatically populate this. You don't want the sales reps to populate this. So it will come over if you set up the automation to have this pull from the opportunity based on the location of the account, then this can be automatically populated. Okay. And then when the sales reps goes to add the products to a quote and clicking on add product, this is the only one they see. They only see premium because we set up the search filter to filter out based on the region of the quote and the region of the product. And this particular product, the premium bento box, is West Coast. And our quote, let me cancel out. And our quote, we set it as West Coast. Okay. If we were to change this quote to the East Coast, we're expecting to only see the standard product. So if I click on edit lines, add products, we only see the standard. Okay. This will definitely come in handy. It just depends on the business use cases. So you have to ask these questions of, are there restrictions on who can, if sales reps can only sell certain products, or if products should be automatically defaulted based off of information from the quote. Please take some time to develop this in your sandbox as well.